podcast is filmed on Studio Cloud 9. Hello, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. It is January 12th, Friday. How has everyone been? I hope everyone had a great New Year celebration. Welcome back to Astro Podcast, where we talk about astrological cosmic news on a weekly basis on every Friday. And I am Jody Chirami at Jody Boots, and this is Astro Pod _cast. Thank you for being here. The big news of 2024 is going to be on April 20th, 2024. It will be when Jupiter meets up with Uranus, both in the sign of Taurus, the fixed earth sign. And that is what we're all preparing for right now in the new year. And on Thursday, yesterday, was the new moon in Capricorn, which opens up this year's first new moon. This is a great new moon in terms of setting goals for your life and for the future. Because Capricorn is all about hard work and being accountable and leaving a legacy behind. So it's the perfect time. 2024, as you all know from last year's last podcast, is that a lot of the outer planets have started moving. And the outer planets affect all of us collectively because it is a generational type of movement. Where all the planets are right now as the year opens up. Mercury will be moving into Capricorn tomorrow, Saturday on January 13th, to stay until February the 5th. Venus is in Sagittarius since the very last days of last year on December 29th, and it will be there until January 23rd. It will be shifting out of Sagittarius into Capricorn. And then Mars is in Capricorn since January the 4th, and it'll be here until February 13th. Jupiter is in Taurus since last May and will be here until May 25th, when it will move into the sign of Gemini for a year from May 25th until 2025. And Saturn is in Pisces still for its little tour of Pisces until May 24th, 2025. And Uranus is in Taurus until June of 2025. So a lot of planets have moved. The only one that's still asleep or in retrograde right now is Uranus. So as we opened up this year, all the outer planets are awake, all the personal planets are awake. Yesterday, the new moon that occurred in Capricorn was meeting up with the sun. So whenever there's a new moon, we know that it's in the same sign as the sun because it's the dark of the moon, which happens every month, and the full moon happens every month. The full moon now will be in January 25th in Leo. We'll talk about that when we get to that week. But this new moon in Capricorn is setting the stage for what is to come in 2024. And we can't reiterate this enough. All the astrologers really want the universe, for everyone to understand that what's happening is a generational shift. Whenever Pluto gets ready to shift, which it's going to do in 8 days, in 1 week, it's getting ready to shift with the sun and Pluto together are going to shift into Aquarius at 0 degrees Aquarius, right? So what is this new moon? Right now in Capricorn, we have the sun, the moon, and Pluto. We have what they call a stellium, 3 planets in one sign. And they're close to each other at basically 21 degrees. And then Pluto's at its very last anaretic degree of 29 degrees of Capricorn. Whenever Pluto meets up with a sign, it completely wants that sign to purify itself and rise again as the phoenix rising out of the fire. So right now, Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. It has made massive changes in the government and the way we deal with systems and the way that we make institutions accountable And we try to amend and fix these things so that they're more viable for everyone, not just the rich and the privileged. So now that it's shifting into Aquarius, I will talk about that when the time comes next week, when it gets ready to prepare to move in. But we are already feeling these seismic shifts. As you can see in the outer world, there have been massive floods. There have been a volcano, an earthquake, a tsunami. There's 3 or 4 wars going on, a new war every day. Now South America is getting into wars. So these are all signs of discontent on the human level with how the world is moving along for human occupancy. And nature also is having a difficult time due to global warming that's occurring and the need for more energy, for more people, for more food to feed these people. And whenever the world becomes saturated this way, war always seems to occur because there is a need for more food, more land, more everything, right? So basically, you must find your center this month. It will help you all this year if you can figure out where your center is. Where do you go for peace and stability in yourself to ground you as the outside world rages on? Now, COVID kind of prepared us in ways of being more in tune and in touch with the world. COVID really bonded us all together because we all went through it at the same time, right? So that made us realize that we're all humans, that we're all connected. But as soon as shutdown was opened up and we were back to our normal lives again, all these things fell away and war began in Ukraine and now in the Middle East. And it's only ramping up. So why is this happening? It's happening because the patriarchy, which is represented by Capricorn, has gone through a massive house cleaning since 2008. And as Pluto prepares to shift out of Capricorn, it will only be back here one more time in September and October to do one more last bit of house cleaning in Capricorn before it goes into Pluto permanently for 20 years. And none of us will be alive again to see Pluto come back to this spot in our life, because it takes 248 years roughly for Pluto to go around the sun. So we really are having an accelerated growth, spiritual growth, which has been being downloaded to us. What does that mean exactly for us? What it means is that you're going to have doubts, you're going to question things, and that's very normal. And you want to listen to your instincts. What is my gut telling me about this thing that I want to do, right? So we've been sitting on that for the past year, especially the last month, when we're kind of like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do that? Because the planets are all in a traffic jam, trying to wake up and move out. They're in a traffic jam. Now they're moving and they're in sync with each other, which is the other part of it being so rare, is that they're in sync with each other. So this change is coming whether you're ready or not, or whether you're prepared or not. It's going to happen. It's going to happen quickly, and it's going to go quickly. So you must be prepared, and you can only be prepared for change by having an inner calm in yourself to where you can meditate and breathe. Whenever you have anxiety and you feel like everything is just moving too quickly, you can't handle it, you're getting anxiety, you're getting anything, always step back and breathe. Breathing calms your heart rate, slows down your metabolism so you can think and not go into flight mode. Release the fears that you may be feeling because of the unknown that's going to occur. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. If you learn how to be flexible, have no expectations, and understand that the only constant is change, then you should be okay. You should be able to come out of this. But if you hold on to something, hold on to some value, to some materialism, hold on to something that isn't spiritual, it's going to be a very difficult journey to get out of the next 20 years in the right frame of mind. Um, Blaming other people will no longer work. You have to stand up and be in your own sovereignty. Know who you are, know what you want, what your goals are for the future. Try to set goals for yourself, a 10-year goal, and then a 1-year goal, and another year goal to get to that 10-year goal. And then set a daily goal just to get up, just to do certain things every single day towards better health, better life, better love for yourself, so you can share what you love with other people. And these concepts are so foreign to a lot of people. You know, the concept of slowing down and listening to yourself and loving yourself. These concepts are so foreign to most people. That's why there's so much chaos in the world. Because what we're trying to get rid of, Pluto in particular, and the planets, what the planets are trying to get rid of as residue has built over 243 years, over 10,000 years, over 30,000 years, over 100,000 years. The residue, the dust has built up to where it's not moving forward anymore spiritually. It's again about materialism, about the castles, about the pyramids, about all the gold, about everything that you want to put into the coffin with you when you die. All those things still keep coming up as we get more and more advanced mentally, physically, but spiritually. Our species of Homo sapiens and Neanderthals keep going back to greed and materialism and power and absolute power. And every time there is this type of movement in the universe, you will see people come in and do their job and show you why you had the American Revolution, why Rome fell, why Egypt fell, why this civilization fell a long time ago, why the continents broke apart. All these things come back to remind us that we're not in charge on Earth. We are inhabitants here, and everything has been given to us that to survive. And we know how to survive without all materialism. Materialism is only something that makes us feel better, like having earrings on. It feels good. Having a necklace on. It feels nice. But can I count on this necklace and these earrings to support me when I'm sad and I need to talk to someone? No. You need another person to do that, or you need to be able to meditate and pray within yourself to find that balance and stability you need. And you need to do that first for yourself before you can help anybody. Be a parent, be a partner in any type of situation. The cosmic energy is that go and be yourself, whatever that is. Be proud of who you are. Be weird, be different. These are the people that know who they are, that love themselves. They're willing to go out there and show you this is what you need to do. You need to let yourself be free. Be free. Go climb that tree if that's what you want to do. Okay? Go do what you want to do because you can if you put your mind to it. Okay? So the fact that so many people are also immigrating and leaving, going to different countries because the resources are gone or because of greed, because the people don't have enough resources because they've taken it all. They want it all for themselves. They want a swimming pool with all the water in the swimming pool. So now you don't have enough water for someone else to drink down the street because all the water's been put in the swimming pool. So these are things that are going to be balanced in the next 20 years. It's either they are going to be balanced or there's going to be another big catastrophe where the earth is just too warm and blows up again, which is what's happening with earthquakes and all the flooding. It's still continuing on and on and on. And we can't fight nature. I don't know why we keep thinking we can. Nature gave us fire, and we went and made the nuclear bomb to hurt each other, which is not what that is for. So we can stop war, stop hatred, just learn to live along in peace. You can stay in that corner and I'll stay in that corner, and that's peaceful, right? We don't have to agree on everything, but we don't need to kill each other either and harm our children, the next generation, the next generation, the next generation, which is already being harmed now. So we are right back there again. The fall of Rome, the fall of Roman Empire. And why does that happen? Because of greed, because of laziness, because there's generations of people that have had power, have had money, and it's been at least 3 generations of that right now that we can see and we can count, maybe 5, 6 generations, and they still hold power and all these things. And it would be fine if you had power and the people wanted you to rule them. That's your country, that's your business, right? But in a country of democracy where you don't want a tyrant to rule you, there's also people that want things to change back to that, to where there's someone taking care of them and they know if they do this, do that, they're going to get this, get that, where everything is known and guaranteed. Whereas as life moves on, nothing is guaranteed. There's new innovations, new jobs, new things. People don't want to go to work from 9 to 5 anymore. It's just not doable for the people who just graduated from college or had to deal with COVID. And then all the kids that are coming up now who have to deal with COVID, they're not going to want to go to work from 9 to 5 the way it was beaten into us to go do, because that's what the Bible says, or that's whatever it says, right? That's no longer going to work. We have to come together and do things that make us happy. And what makes people happy is love, connection, sharing, not killing, not getting together, putting our heads together, and wondering how we can kill that village there so we can take all their food, because our people, we don't have any food. We eat all our food, right? So these are things that we have to really concentrate on. And I really behoove the new generation, my son's generation, the younger kids coming out of college, still in school, to really think about how you can help the world be better for you when you come out of college and help change the world. There's a bunch of young people doing that right now. Today the moon is moving to Aquarius, and we're talking about groups of people and what Aquarius rules, right? As Pluto gets ready to move into there. And the moon in Aquarius today will lead us this weekend into seeing what it really means. And the moon will also go meet up with Pluto as it's heading out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So the moon this week is leading the way in terms of how we think, what we love, what makes us comfortable, what makes us feel at home. The moon is going by Pluto this weekend to check it out and say, hey, what's going to happen when the sun moves here? And what's going to happen when you and the sun move into Aquarius together? What's going to happen? So the moon is going to check it out for us. And so pay attention to your inner instincts and your feelings and your inner comfort, and see what is getting prickly, what is making you upset, what makes you happy, and lean onto those things that make you happy, and understand that what makes you unhappy is what's going to be challenging you the next 20 years. So try to really meditate on, why am I mad today? Oh, the coffee was cold when I woke up. Or why am I losing my mind? Why am I needing to scream at people? Why am I doing something? Why am I mad? These are the things you must really check in on yourself to see, because if you leave it alone, it will fester, fester, fester. And I know about festering. Capricorn moon has a meeting with Neptune and Pluto and Jupiter and Uranus. So, Neptune rules our compassion, our empathy. Jupiter rules our spirituality, our higher learning, our enthusiasm, optimism. And it's a judge. It's a judgment, Jupiter. And then Uranus rules change, usually lightning bolt change, things that you don't know is going to happen. It kind of represents the Tower card in the tarot, where sudden change comes, and it's not always bad, but it's so sudden that you're like, oh, and it's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily good all the time either. It depends on how you're flexible you are with change. It's going to be a huge transformation, transmutation, sudden change. You're going to heal and then release. Heal and release. And that's what the moon meeting up with Pluto this weekend will be about, is understanding and loving yourself for what you've done, what you feel, what you think. Jealousy, envy, hatred, killing, stealing, judging, all these things. Forgive yourself for it. You're a human, but understand it doesn't serve a purpose to lash it out at other people. It's there to help you understand how you can grow and be better. It's not there to use to be a critic against other people. It's the power balance, which is a lot of astrologers are talking about. Balancing power. Again, that's what we're talking about. We don't need a tyrant to rule us anymore. We can break free of that. We know how to do that now, so we shouldn't let that happen again, right? That's a power balance. The new moon, though, will be squaring the lunar node. Pluto just moved out of there because it's getting ready to move out of Capricorn. It's moved out of the degree where it was squaring the north and south node, the north node in Aries and the south node in Libra. So now the moon takes over that spot this weekend, and it's squaring the node. So emotionally, again, we're being given a preview, a look at what will be happening to us and the collective out in the world. It's going to help us see, and we gotta really look and pay attention this weekend and be mindful about what we say, what we do. It's really good for artists. It's good to really get out there and write your poetry, do your acting, do your stuff. It's good for all creativity because that's the way to channel any anxiety, any jealousy, any hatred. It's a good way to channel energy is through art. And not everyone's going to like your art. Not everyone likes heavy metal where they're talking about, F you, whatever. Or even rap where they're cursing and talking about popping things, people and things like that. Not everyone likes that, but it is a way of releasing your art. And your art comes from trauma. It comes from the need to understand yourself. So art is one of the most important things that humans have invented to show that they're humans because they have feelings and emotions. So don't suppress any of that this year at all. Pay attention to your emotions. Aries and Libra, they are about war and peace. And peace is hard to come by right now because it is in the South Node and we're releasing peace. We're releasing making other people happy. We're releasing playing the nice person so you don't get mad at me even though I don't agree with you. We're done with all that. We want you to speak your mind, say what's going on. Don't be a pushover. Don't follow the trend. Follow what you want. What you want, not what the crowd wants. So Pluto and Aquarius is going to go into groups of people. Sports is a huge one that Aquarius rules. Astrology also is ruled by Aquarius. Also, medicine is ruled by Aquarius. So here we're dealing with all kinds of things that help the human collectively, right? Health helps us collectively. So that's what we're dealing with. It's definitely karmic. Everything Pluto touches is karmic, and it is speeding up your choice. Pluto is reminding you to go with the flow, that this power is unstoppable. No one can stop the power of Pluto and what Pluto's doing. So even if you try, you can't. So really remember that. Really, you have to have faith, surrender your security for change, which is very difficult, right? Think about that. And so if you're not ready, you see the floods are coming and taking your security away anyways, taking your house away, taking your boat, taking your condo. So what, that security that you work so hard for, a home, a place to feel secure, if that's upended, gone, what will you do? You have to have faith that everything is there for a reason, happening for a reason, right? It's not easy in the moment. But once you get out of that, you can reflect back and see how you've grown, how you become more in touch with yourself. And that's really what's going to happen. So, like I said last year, put on that seatbelt and hold on tight. Fate is balancing by nature. Nature will rebalance its pain that it's feeling right now with all the coral reefs dying. It will redo itself. And there's nothing that we can do besides do the right thing, which we're trying, right? I mean, there's plastic all over the ocean. Let's see. The other big deal is Chiron is also your personal healer. It's also making a move. Chiron is like Sagittarius, the wounded. This is also a warrior archer, but it's the wounded archer. And so he's here to always help us heal ourselves. And Chiron is very active in Aries, where the North Node is. And it's going to be meeting up with the North Node. And it really wants you to heal yourself and dare to be you. Heal yourself and dare to be yourself. Okay? Let's see. The galactic center is meeting up with Mercury. And Mercury rules how we think and what we feel. So with that happening, we are being asked to think about the things that make us happy. So the moon's active this week, going through and meeting up with Pluto. Being a new moon, it is a triple, double, powerful new moon. There's 2 full moons for Capricorn this year on June 31st and July 31st. And a new moon in Capricorn will be ending the year in December. So the Capricorn theme runs all through the year as we close up the Pluto visit into Capricorn. So Capricorn is about hard work, is about practical. It can be dry because it is so focused on its goals. Now, because it is a good worker, it can accumulate materialism. It can be that person that has that house, that giant house with everything nice in it, because they worked hard for it, right? So with Capricorn and Pluto leaving Capricorn, we're also being told and being showed how you can lose your house, you can lose everything, and you still have to go on. And that's part of Capricorn's message, which is ruled by Saturn, who is right now in Pisces for 3 years. And Saturn being in Pisces has a little bit more of a mutable sense of change and not so strict and not so harsh and cold and picky. So this is a good time to use the Capricorn energy to really set your goals and intentions, and you will be truly rewarded this year if you work hard and consistently work hard. It doesn't sound fun, right? But what's fun is the paycheck you collect, the accolades, all that stuff's fun. You got to work for all that. It doesn't just come like that. So thank you for being here. Until next week, remember to set your wish, your intention for this new moon. You can feel it for about a week or 2. So you can do a fire ceremony, write down what you want, what you're wishing for, what you want to get rid of, and burn it up and set into the universe what your intentions are, okay? I really appreciate you. I'll be here next week on the 19th when I will be in Utah, okay? So I'm excited for that, heading to Sundance Film Festival. If anyone's going, go ahead and connect with me. I'd love to talk to you. But I will see you next week, and I appreciate you, and Happy New Year. And remember to love yourself. And this is the beginning of the ending. The beginning of the ending. Okay, it's not the ending, it's the beginning of the ending of the Pisces age. Okay, so really, let's get ourselves into the Aquarius mindset, innovation, future, all those things. Let's get it together as a species and help each other to reach all those goals that we always all dream of. Okay? Thank you, and I'll be back. Appreciate you. Sending lots of love and light your way. Thank you.